Everyone, the Nerdy Steve here, and today we'll be featuring a standard Arcane Bombardment Izzet control deck. I think that's a good way to put it. So I'll talk a little bit about the game plan, some of the card choices, a little bit about the sideboard, and then we'll play a couple matches. So let's go. The card that I really want to hone in on and focus is Arcane Bombardment. So this is an enchantment from New Capenna, and whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, exile a random one from your graveyard. Then you copy each card exiled with Arcane Bombardment, and you can cast those copies without paying their mana cost. So the entire deck runs a bunch of red removal, some blue bounce, and card draw to control the game up until the point you can cast Arcane Bombardment, and then idealistically, and hopefully, and maybe naively, you can start just generating so much value once you have a resolved Arcane Bombardment. And once that hits play, we just want to try and win the game. We also have Lier to kind of complement that strategy, because Lier also benefits from controlling the game, and then once you resolve a Lier, you can cast everything from your graveyard. So the two kind of do the same thing in slightly different ways. But the rest of the cards are what you would expect. We have removal in our 1-drops. We have some, again, more removal interaction as our 2-drops. Cleansing Wildfire is an interesting choice, and it's really, really good with Arcane Bombardment. Usually you want to target your opponent's lands, and with everybody running, 3-color decks with a couple basic lands at most, if you cast Cleansing Wildfire 2 or maybe 3 times, eventually you're just gonna destroy their land, and eventually your opponent will not have anything to replace it. And so that's something we're going to try and do, and hopefully it works out. And with Arcane Bombardment, you can very easily destroy all of your opponent's lands. And then we go into the sideboard, which is, again, more specific, cheap spells for different matchups. Fading Hope for when you need more creature interactions. Tempted by the Oriq when you want to gain controls. We have Negate. So we're gonna kind of be changing up our removal and interaction suite a little bit post-sideboard to better handle different decks, right? We also have Smoldering Egg for when you either need the creature early on for aggressive strategies, but Smoldering Egg might also be good in different control matchups when they board out all their removal, and then you have Smoldering Egg, which can become a really, really powerful dragon, right? So that's kind of the basic idea of the deck, and hopefully it works. So let's go and find out. Hi to Nori. Well, we have to mulligan this hand. I think we can keep this. We don't... Getting rid of Burn Down the House is bad if we don't know what our opponent's deck is. Because we want to keep it in our opening hand if it's against more aggressive strategies. But our opponent is taking their time, so we can take ours. We will Fading Hope. Put that into our hand. Oh, I did everything in the wrong order. I think, no. We might want this in our hand to cast as an instant. Yeah, that makes sense. Wedding announcement? Okay. I think our opponent is not as quick as they need to be to fight us. So I think we might be okay. It's gonna really depend, though, on what else they could possibly have in their deck, because they could have a lot of really good things. We're discarding Burn Down the House because if it gets triggered with Arcane Bombardment, we're very happy. And then I'm going to wait to see what they do during their turn. If our opponent has removal for Arcane Bombardment, we're just dead. If we can untap here with Arcane Bombardment, we're in a really good spot. If we can't, well, then we might be a little not. Alright. I'm not going to do anything yet because I'm scared. Amiria's Call. Which is not good enough, I don't think. We don't care about Lier. Into our hand. This wedding festivity giving us a little... The creatures are a little too big to really cleanly deal with. But we can get exile with the Arcane Bombardment a lot of the stuff here, and we'll be kind of fine. Oh, wait, yeah, okay. There. We need to get rid of Alright, there we go. Woo! We had... It was a little rough there, but we were able to come through. I think the Cleansing Wildfire, while they had a 7-mana card, it just might be a little too slow against them. Maybe we want Smoldering Egg. I could imagine our opponent... If our opponent brings in removal for Arcane Bombardment, it becomes a huge liability. So I think we want to rely less on it this game and make our eggs, right, become dragons. Then I think we can interact with our opponent more meaningfully earlier. But I don't know. Well, we will see how it goes. Blue, so we can Fading Hope. Then we get to Coast with Prismari Command up. I think I want to deal 2 and I'll create a treasure. There's a couple cards we also have to worry about for Arcane Bombardment, and that's Archon of Emeria, which you can only cast 1 spell a turn. And I think that stops Arcane Bombardment. But right now, our opponent isn't putting a lot of pressure on us. We do have to worry about the Kiki Jiki in a turn. But our Smoldering Egg is going to come close to hatching. And we do get to Expressive Iteration, so... We want this in our hand. Library there. This is gonna be really good. Burn down the house. We have to kill our own egg, sadly, but you know, sometimes you have to do what you have to do. Oh, okay. Now we don't feel bad. Now we don't even kill our egg. Isn't that great, everyone? Deal 5 damage to each creature. We hatchling tapped. So now if we draw an untapped land, we get to Arcane Bombardment and then cast Expressive Iteration. So we'll get at least 1 trigger out of it. Oh, another Emeria's Call. Well, I think... Do we want a land drop here? So we can put Hope into our hand. Rebuke into library. Shatterskull. We can pay the 3 life because we don't want to use the treasure. Right? If we use the treasure, I think we didn't want to use it. We didn't want to tap out because we want to save it for Fading Hope. And then also might help us out next turn if we need like 1 or 2 more mana for an Arcane Bombardment. So I think what we do is we wait to see what our opponent does. And hope we get something good underneath it. No. Okay. We're doing it now because we want it to trigger, so if we get another instant in our hand, we can then do something about it. I think we need to create 1/1 devils here, actually. Wow. Where's our Lier? We have a lot of very bad draws as well. We have a couple good ones, but a lot of bad ones. One, two, three. That was one of the good draws. Alright, come on, Expressive Iteration. Galagreeters and Galagreeters, okay. We need to keep a card in our hand for a lot of things. There we go. For Windfall. And, like, it wasn't a huge priority to kill what our opponent had, right? I don't think, oh, we did play the land? Or no, we didn't. So now we're in a really, really good spot. We need our opponent to brick for a couple turns, and they did. So actually what we're gonna do GG. That's what we're gonna do. Alright, we are going against Godzilla. We will, I guess, do that on turn 1. What are we gonna do? Bluff a Fading Hope? Blue, red. Cleansing Wildfire. Opponent, let's hello. Wonder if they do have a mountain. Blue, red. I'm not gonna play Iteration into Jawari Disruption. I'm sorry. Wildfire into hand. That into library. There. We're gonna have to do it for red again. I wonder how many non-basics they have. Or one of the bad thing... Oh. Okay. So they're probably like the goblin... Not goblin. The dragon fire... Goldspan dragon combo deck. I'd assume. There's some type of blue-red control. They can't be Arcane Bombardment because we're the only deck that's allowed to be that way. It is dragon. Okay. Which is actually very, very good against us, so. They could do so much here. And there's really nothing we can do about it. Okay. We need our opponent to really have bad stuff in their hand in order to even think about winning. Because they're going to be able to go off in one single turn, and we literally can't do anything about it. We're on a 2-turn clock. And there's, like, nothing we can do. I mean, we can iteration. But they could still have a counterspell or anything. I think, like, what we need to happen... Ooh, did I... Oh, we already played a land. Is we're gonna Fading Hope a Goldspan Dragon. Right? So we only take 4 damage. And then hope that they recast it so our Smashing can then kill them. I meant to do that before they got an extra treasure that they didn't need to because I'm an idiot. Sorry, everyone. Because our opponent now can do a lot of really, really bad stuff to us. If they really, really want to. You can't test the talents it because it can't be countered. Oh, yeah, they're gonna try and kill Lier. Oh, that's kind of hot. I respect that. Only if we had one more mana to kill a gold span. Right? Dang it. Alright, GG. Negate. This will become very, I think, very, very hard to deal with. I think we're just gonna have to hope and pray. And it can work. But their deck also functions, I think, in a better... Their deck is like a better version of our deck, where you don't have to do anything until the turn you can do it. And then they win. We don't do anything until 6, and then it takes us 5 more turns to win. And against a deck like our opponent, where they have tons of card draw and tons of interaction, they can play that game maybe a little more effectively. So, let's hope. Okay. The Celestus is good because it not only gives us mana, but the card selection is going to be really, really, really important, I think, in this matchup. Okay. Oh. That was surprising. They probably have counter magic. So we're just gonna wait, I think. Now, if they do have something, then we can negate it. Beautiful. Now we just need something that isn't Fading Hope so we can start triggering our Arcane Bombardment. Fudge. Okay. We can attack. We still have Negate up. And that Negate can find another Negate or a big score. Sorry. Beautiful. Alright. So we only needed our opponent to stall on mana and not do anything for a couple turns, and we're golden. So I think that's a very good track record for this deck. I'm not gonna mulligan. Table. We will negate that. Goldspan Dragon? No, another one? Okay. We actually have our colors now. Ooh, Tested Talent's a Fable. Okay. Our opponent, we don't know if they have Goldspan in hand. And that's something I'm worried about. I'm also worried if they have Lier in hand. I'm worried about everything our opponent could have. Let's deal 3 damage to that. Get another colored source. Our opponent will discard how many cards to Fable? 1, which is not good. Their own iteration. Blue. Oh god, I didn't mean to do that I didn't... Fudge. Imagine I messed that up. Sorry, when I spaced out for a little bit. There was no reason to play that land there, because we just lost a land play. And a card. Oh. Terrible. I always do that with Expressive Iteration. I jump a little too quickly. And that is a common mistake. You need to be very, very cognizant of that. Because like, you're always kind of told, make sure you always play your lands. And you kind of do it instinctively earlier than you need to almost all the time. And so that was just me seeing a land in my hand and then playing it and then going, oh, wait. Surprise! Let's get an island. Deals 5 damage, which I'm sure they have a counterspell for. Of course. Do Wildfire. a Sokenzan. Or no, we probably should have just done a blue, right? Try to remove all of one color. Yeah, not that that really would have come into play this game, but that's also something to be more cognizant of and to consider, right? Is to, if you can, remove a complete color source. Oh, that was disrupted. Let's hope our opponent can't kill us, or doesn't have anything in hand. That's 8, 9, 10... Oh, that is just lethal, everyone. Deals 5 damage. And we're dead here. Only if we had that Celestus trigger once. Disruption? Oh, GG. Poop. I just want to say thank you for watching me play Standard Izzet Arcane Bombardment Control combo. It was really, really fun, really, really interesting, and I learned a lot, and I think my biggest takeaway from the deck is that I would want to play it more in a format that I knew if I was expecting more aggro decks or more control decks. Because with that, you can then really alter the spells you're going to most likely be copying with Arcane Bombardment. Here, I felt when going against more control decks, all my Abrade targets and Spikefield Hazard or Flame Blessed Bolt or Fading Hope, they were cards I were exiling with the Arcane Bombardment, but wasn't getting value with the triggers. When against an aggressive deck, right, an Arcane Bombardment doing a Voltage Surge can be backbreaking. And so I think you get a lot more value in different matchups, and you can really, really tune your deck that way. Also, I think that decision would inform how I sideboard a little more and change and navigate the games that way. And maybe if I was going against more control decks, I would now know what I need to do, right? But overall, the deck kind of really, really functions as other blue-red decks in this standard. Again, it's not going to be as explosive as maybe a Goldspan Dragon combo deck, but it does have a unique play pattern, and it is different enough where I think there is warrant to keep on looking at it. And also, Arcane Bombardment is really, really fun. So with that, you can always watch me go live or play Magic live at twitch.tv/thenerdysteve if you want more of this content. I would appreciate it if you liked, commented, or subscribed to this video. And yes, thank you for watching and have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Thanks for watching. Bye.